This month has been full of exciting news from Polestar, a Swedish-Chinese company that specializes in manufacturing electric vehicles. Just a few weeks ago, we were shown uncamouflaged images of the first Polestar fully electric SUV. Plus, at the Goodwood Speed Festival in England, the company showcased a prototype of Polestar 5, an electric performance 4-door GT built on the Precept concept car. So, with this awesome news in mind, why don't we talk about this for a while? Remember, in my previous episode, we watched a 50-second video on the official Polestar YouTube channel, which was supposed to be a preview of the fully electric Polestar 3. What I found a little odd, however, was the fact that we were actually seeing another Polestar product to begin with, the Polestar 5. Now we can connect the dots. Polestar went public via their SPAC merger on June 24th and began trading on Nasdaq under PSNY. I guess it was actually very smart from Polestar's perspective to create some positive context in the public space and open new doors to generate more interest on the stock exchanges. Well, that's good for both of us, my dear friends. After all, it means we can now learn a little more about Polestar's products together. By the way, before we head any further, if you don't want to miss any massive news in the EV industry, I'd invite you to subscribe to my Telegram EV News channel. I'll add a link in the description below and see you there. As I said in the beginning, the Polestar 5 is not only inspired, but is genuinely built on the Precept concept car we were presenting in 2020. Traditionally, car makers would go above and beyond in the concept car level stage, only to have the car lose several of these creative and exciting features closer to serial production. It's a massive letdown. Luckily, this nearly didn't happen to the Polestar 5. The Polestar 5 still had a very thin film of camouflage at the event in the UK, so we don't know everything just yet. Nevertheless, it's still a very good source of information for us, together with the rendering from top electric SUV based on the patents filed by Polestar. The suicide doors and camera wind mirrors are gone now. The 22-inch wheels have been replaced with a more traditionally sized wheel set, and we don't see the same bulky LiDAR on the roof anymore. However, the rest of the Polestar designer's creativity survived through the transition from a concept to a production-ready prototype phase, especially in the back. The Polestar 5 will stay remarkably close to the Precept. It features identical tail lights and the same bumper style, but with a slightly different tailgate. After reading up on the challenges many Audi e-tron drivers had with virtual mirrors, I'm not that surprised at all to see Polestar going back to a more traditional setup. The Precept concept was very well received, which may have influenced why the car maker decided to stay as close as possible to the original. The Polestar 5 will be a high-end performance car competing directly with the Model S and Lucid Air. When you look inside the Precept concept, the EV clearly deserves a seat with its competitors. The Precept has 2 rows of captain's seats, a massive 15-inch infotainment touchscreen, and a 12.5-inch dashboard for the driver. While I think the rear seats will be replaced with a traditional bench in time, a lot of other design elements should be able to survive through the production. This also includes the applied sustainability approach. Polestar has used flax, recycled cork, recycled plastic bottles, and fishing nets as go-to materials for the interior of the vehicle. From the technical point of view, we've learned from Polestar that the new EV will be built on an 800-volt architecture, which is a step up compared to the 400-volt Polestar's 2 architecture and should enable better energy efficiency. The brand also promises 884 horsepower and 900 Nm of torque. These parameters should be possible in dual motor configuration with the newly developed rear high-performance motor. The Polestar 5 is also expected to provide more than a decent 300 miles of driving range per charge from its 103 kWh battery. 300 miles is becoming the new normal for EVs, but unfortunately the Polestar 2 I'm driving these days cannot achieve this threshold. As such, I'm very glad the Polestar engineers are raising the bar for the Polestar 5, but the big question here remains: is it competitive enough? Not exactly. In this larger vehicle segment, where you can afford high-capacity battery packs, close to 400 miles of driving range doesn't seem to be a challenge. Polestar doesn't quite rival this energy efficiency with its competitors so far because it doesn't rely on uniquely developed platforms for use in an electric vehicle. The CMA platform the Polestar 2 is engineered on is also shared with hybrid vehicles such as the Volvo XC40. Now, I fully understand the reasoning. It's simply unaffordable for smaller car makers to develop a dedicated platform for each type of powertrain. However, the transition to electric mobility is inevitable, therefore I still expect Polestar, Volvo and Geely to start offering an EV-only platform pretty soon. And let's talk about timing here. The Polestar 5 should hit the road in 2024, but unlike the Polestar 3 SUV, the GT model won't be manufactured in the United States. Together with this parent company, Polestar is putting a carbon-neutral manufacturing site in China. The brand hasn't disclosed the pricing yet, however, when looking at the competition, I wouldn't be surprised if we are looking at roughly $100K US here, which might be a viable alternative for customers who are tired of seeing the 10-year-old Model S design. What do you think about the current developments? Let us know in the comments here below, and don't forget to subscribe if you liked the episode. See you next time!